Christa Jacobson, headmistress of the Budo, where we teach authentic ninjutsu and classical samurai bujutsu. And for those of you who don't know what that is, there's the ancient martial arts of the ninja and samurai. In today's lesson, I'm going to discuss my Mustang GT and talk about one of my hobbies, which is my Mustang. I'm a big Mustang fan, a Mustang lover, and talk about my Mustang GT and all the different things that I've done with my car. And in doing so, it sparked a thought, and from this I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a martial art lesson from it. And I know you guys are probably thinking, what does maintaining a car or putting modifications on a car have anything to do with martial arts? Well, let me explain. So anyone who knows me outside the dojo knows that I have different hobbies in my life, and one of those hobbies is my car, my Mustang. I am the proud owner of a Mustang GT. It is a new Edge Mustang. For those of you guys who don't know what that is, it's the 99 to 04 Mustangs. It's called the new Edge. So Mustang GT 2002, and I am the single owner of this car. I bought it brand new, off the lot, no miles on it. I'm the only owner of this car, and I absolutely love this car. Like, when I die, I will be buried in this car, Egyptian style. This will be my car sarcophagus, right? Without doubt. My YouTube channel is about martial arts and self-defense and reality-based self-defense. It's really not about cars, and I don't want to, start a second channel, nor do I really want to do a lot of videos about it. I wouldn't mind doing, one or two videos about my car if you guys are interested, but other than that, my channel is about martial arts and self-defense, and it's going to stay that way. But to you guys get the full understanding, for you guys who don't know much about cars, for you guys to get the full understanding, I'm going to start talking. You'll see where I'm going to go with the training of martial arts in a minute. So I bought this car brand new, right off the lot, 02 Mustang GT. And for you guys, it's a V8, okay? Now, after I bought the car, I was really into car stereo systems, and I used to compete in car audio and do car audio shows and so on and so forth. So I have thousands of dollars wrapped up in just the car audio. Everything, from everything custom made in the whole car. I have a lot wrapped up in it. And again, I'm not going to go through the whole shebang. It's a very nice car audio system. And like I said, I'll make another video if you guys are interested in all that kind of thing. Then I started getting into, well, now I'd like to change some of the things under the hood. I'd like to change some of the things to make it more, a muscle car, not just the Mustang off the lot. So, cool air intake, BBK throttle body, CNL upper plenum, performance intake manifold, underdrive pulleys. I changed out, put bigger gears in the rear end, 373s, headers, cut the cats, H-pipe, Flowmaster exhaust. I could keep going, but for you guys who don't know what any of that shit is, doesn't really matter. I got a tune on it, super chip, etc. Put bigger cams in it, blah blah blah. Anyway, I've done a good chunk to make this car go, and the car now is pushing almost 20 years. Like I said, it is an 02 Mustang, 02 Mustang GT, and right now it's 2019. So it is pushing almost 20 years old. And when you first buy a car, you get so excited, it's like, oh, I want to put in a stereo system, and I want to get subs and amplifiers, and I want 3-ways, and I want to work on the tweets, and I want to work on the mid-range, and I want to do this. I got to put sound dampening here. We got to do this. We got to get an extra battery here. All this kind of stuff. Put the frads back where the subs are. Show them off with a nice plexiglass back top and all this kind of stuff. And I'm doing all this stuff. I got the back end here. I'm back of the back seat of a Mustang is small anyway, but my back seat folds down. It's plexiglass all the way back. I got an amp longer than my wingspan across the whole back end of my car. All this stuff, you're upgrading everything. It's so fun, you know what I mean, because it's new. So you're working extra hours, you're doing all this stuff, and you're going and going and going. And then you find that new spot where it's like, okay, well, I'm done with the audio. Now I want to lower the car, Ebach racing suspension, all this other stuff that I did to make the suspension a lot better, so it'll drive and handle better at higher speeds. all this kind of stuff. Then you get done with that, and then you start working on the engine, and like I said, cool air intake, all this kind of stuff. And once you start going, there's that point where it's like, okay, the car really isn't that new anymore. I still got to get to work. I still got to, go from here to work and take my kids to school and get to the dojo so I can teach martial arts. And I got to do all this kind of stuff, right? So as I'm doing that, as I'm going through my normal routine, I'm doing this kind of stuff, month after month after, okay, here comes the oil change. You got to do the upkeep. You got to do the upkeep. You got to keep it going. You got to keep it going. And then year after year, just like me, I mean, I baby my car, absolutely love my car. But just like anybody else, sometimes money's tight and you got to push, certain things away so you can take care of things for your family and so on and so forth. And this particular summer, we're going into winter now. I don't know when y'all are watching this damn video, but this last summer, 2019, I put thousands of dollars into my car, and a lot of it was for maintenance and upkeep, thousands of dollars. And I got more stuff I've got to change in the car and stuff like that, because it is it is at almost 20 years old. This summer I put in a lot of money for upkeep. I had to buy new tires, I had to do this, I had to do that, I had all this money into it. One of the things that was really expensive is had to buy a new cluster. The speedometer wasn't, it started not working as well, and all this kind of stuff. And it's getting up there in miles because it is an everyday drive car for me. It is my car that I use for everything. And as I was doing this, I was doing small things that were fun too to upgrade the car, And as I was doing it, I was feeling, you're feeling good about it because you're doing something that's fun, you're upgrading something that's fun. Anyway, as I was doing it one night, I came down into the to the garage, and I always go through the house at night and make sure all the doors are locked and all this kind of stuff. I go through my little checklist, making sure, everything's locked up before I go to bed. And I saw this crack in the, there's a cowl vent on the Mustang GT New Edge. And it's a little plastic piece that kind of goes around the windshield wipers. It's between the front windshield and the hood, for those of you guys who are not, like I said, into the car stuff. And just like any other old car, it's the plastic pieces on the outside and the rubber and stuff like that, it starts to go bad. But I saw this big crack right across it, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? So I click on it. And as I click on it, I just kind of tapped on it a little bit. Then all of a sudden it went, and a hole the size of about a marble. And I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Now I have a hole in my cowl vent. So, I get online, and just like anybody who's a Mustang fan, y'all know there's CJs, there's LMR, late model restoration, American Muscle, etc., etc. How much it costs for a cowl vent, blah, 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 blah. And it hit me at that moment. It's like, no matter what you do, no matter what you enjoy, the process doesn't stop. And, a lot of times, like, some people buy a car and then I want to do this, and then they want to do this, and they want to do this. It's a never ending process of wanting to make your Mustang the best Mustang it can be, the fastest car, the best ride, or the best stereo system, or whatever it is that you want to do. It's a journey. It's not a destination. And that's the way martial arts is too. It's like a lot of times people get hell-bent on, well, look, I was a kickboxing champ here, or jiu-jitsu champ here, or, I won this award or that award. But if you don't constantly keep training, your skills go. Martial arts is a perishable skill. And once you stop training, they will diminish. There is no way around that. That is the way that is. And it's just like, if you lift weights a lot, you start lifting a lot of weights, you're a bodybuilder or a strength competitor, strongman competitor, and you're lifting your weights. If you take 6 months off, you're not going to be lifting the weights the same. If you're a triathlon or a runner, and you're running 5 miles a day, and then you take 6 months off, you're not running like you used to run. And when you do, same thing with martial arts. When you stop training, if you're not going to the dojo every week to train, and you're not doing your physical conditioning, your Hojo and Do, and your hands-on conditioning, and you're working your kata and your waza and mental sharpness and the things that you learn within the dojo with the kuden and the hiden and the historical aspects of training, the reality of it is you will lose it. You will lose an edge physically, mentally, and emotionally. And it's kind of like a car. It's like if you don't keep up the car, it will not run as good. There is no way around that. There's no way you can get first-degree black belt without doing the work needed to have the skills to be a first-degree black belt. There's no way you could have a second without doing that, or a third, or certified at this and certified in that, and so on and so forth. And I think that it's what I find interesting is a lot of times people are only interested in those few things, but they're not interested on the upkeep. They want that second degree black belt, but they don't want to work hard for it. They want that third, but they don't want to stay dedicated long enough to get it. It's like, oh, I got my black, I'm done, and you can't do that. Black belt's the beginning. And it's kind of like, the Mustang. As long as it's a Mustang, I'm good with it. I mean, there are other cars out there that are great, and there's the, the Camaros and the Corvettes and the Trans Ams and the Dodge Chargers and real cars, like those kind of cars, right? Those are real cars. Car enthusiasts will know the underlining statement I made with that. But if you want that car and you want to say like, okay, well, I got a V8, now I want to get a supercharger or a turbo, or I want to get NOS, or all those things are great, but if the car isn't running good and you're not doing the oil changes and you're not keeping up with the tires and the brakes and all that kind of stuff, it's just going to sit in the damn driveway. It's going to sit in the garage. No one's going to see it. It's kind of like as a martial artist, you got that black belt. That's great. And you got it sitting on the wall, it's like you got that certificate. I'm a black belt. But when you walk out of your door and you have a big old fat ass and you can't run around the block because you let yourself go to shit and you don't train, no one sees that you're a black belt. No one sees that you've busted your ass for anything because you let yourself go. You become lazy, you don't train, you find every excuse possible to go drink with your friends, and that black belt, it's just hidden in your house. It's like a car that you don't keep up on. It's great that you may have put, headers on it or whatever it is, cooler intake this or whatever you're trying to do. That's all well and good. But if you don't keep up with it, you can't use it. And that's in martial arts the same thing. If you don't keep up with it, you can't use it. You know what I mean? And everyone's like, well, a car, with an upgrade with a car, it's expensive. So it's martial arts. You gotta take your responsibilities as a student. As a student, you have your financial responsibilities to the dojo and to your teacher and to yourself. You need to buy the materials necessary for you to learn and to train properly. You also got to take care of your financial responsibilities to the dojo and the teacher so that they have what they need so they can help you get better and take their time to make you better. And, when I was cleaning my car the other day, that's something that it just kind of ring true to me. It's like I put all this work in this car and I'm never going to stop thinking, I wish I would do this or I wish I would do that. And, I'm going to upgrade this, I'm going to upgrade that. There's always going to be a new project. There's always going to be something that I can do to make it better or, make it run a little smoother. You know what I mean? And I think anybody who's a car enthusiast, if you guys are into, to me, I'm into American muscle cars. That's what I like, American muscle. And I think that aspect, that it's not a destination, it's the journey that brings happiness, is the truth. With martial arts, you just got to keep going, keep training, don't stop training, keep pushing yourself, keep forging ahead, keep doing the things you need to do to make your body run smoothly, just like a car in a tune-up. You got to eat properly. It's just like you got to put in good gas. You got to do the things that keep your muscles good and your cardiovascular good and your skin and bones good. You got to do those things so that when that time comes, you can properly protect yourself in the situation that you're in. Remember, martial arts, ultimately, at the end of the day, martial arts is training your body neurologically to respond pragmatically and efficiently in an intense, violent situation. So if you are not training your body to do those things, you're not going to be able to do those things. And I don't give a shit what martial art teacher tells you anything otherwise. They're full of shit. And if you're not training, no matter how good you were, if you aren't training, you're not that good now. And no matter how good that car was, back in the 70s and 80s, if it's set in the garage all these years and you haven't put on the track, it's not going to run as good as it was in the 70s and 80s. For all you, car enthusiasts out there that loves the American muscle or the, the Mustangs, right? Much love to you. And so here's my outro. As I said in the beginning, I'm Christa Jacobson, headmistress of the Budo, where we teach authentic ninjutsu and classical samurai bujutsu. So if you guys are interested in traditional Japanese martial arts, reality-based self-defense, survival skills, check out our website at www.budo-ninjutsu.com. There you can see a list of our schools and the philosophy of what we teach. If you guys do not live next to one of our schools, you guys can always join the Budo Dukai online ninjutsu dojo, and you can train with us that way. So thank you guys very much for all of your love and support. I deeply appreciate it. Don't forget to click the subscribe button, guys. I do post videos every week on my YouTube channel, and I would love to have you guys subscribe to the channel and keep up with what I'm doing. Thank you guys again. I love you guys very much. Thanks for the support, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.